Second principle, a free people cannot survive under a republican constitution unless they remain virtuous and morally strong. Ben Franklin said only a virtuous people are capable of freedom. As nations become corrupt and vicious, they have more need of masters. So let's explain this. So let's just say you have two children, two 4-year-old children. One of them, you can sit in the room and you can leave, and when you get back, the room looks exactly the same way it did when you left. Maybe they've colored in a book, maybe they've built something with the Legos that you left with them, but in general everything looks clean, and you walk in the room and they just look at you and they just smile. You said, ah, what a great kid. Now, let's take a different kind of kid. Let's take a child that you put in a room. He's got some, some toys, maybe some coloring utensils. He's got some blocks, and you leave him there. You simply go brush your teeth. Takes about a minute or so. You come back, and there's graffiti on the wall. And you come back and the chairs are turned upside down. And you come back and the blocks are everywhere. I mean, you're stepping and you're walking on these Legos and it's hurting your feet and the place is a mess, and he's sitting there looking at you like, okay, and he's turned the whole place upside down, and it's just been like a minute and a half. So as a parent, which one of these children needs more rules?
The second.
The second one. Now the one that is pretty well behaved, the one that just sat there and colored a little bit, do you need to give that child a whole bunch of rules to follow? I mean, maybe you say don't go out and run in the streets, but are you going to sit there and say, no, don't do this, no, don't do this, no, don't do this? I mean, because they're self-governing. Yeah. Now the other kid, you're going to tell the kid, now I'm going to go over here, do not write on the walls. The only place you can write is in these little books right here, in these blank spaces. Now these blocks right here, I want them to stay right here. You can build something with them, but we want them to stay right here. See these chairs? We want all 4 legs on the ground. You see this over here? You see that? You see that? And you're going to give them all the things you can and can't do. And then, most of the time, you're going to watch him. And you're not going to get much else done because you're sitting there looking at that child, making sure that child does not do something he's not supposed to do. Does that make sense? So, same way with people and with governments. A self-regulating people can handle a limited government. In other words, if people are regulating themselves, if people have self-discipline, if people are following a moral code which directs their behavior, they don't need someone lording over them, telling them what they can and can't do. Of course, there are some rules, but pretty much you can leave that person alone, and they're going to mind their own business, and they're going to do the right thing. Now, as people become more wicked and vicious, more corrupt, that's when they need more masters, telling them what they can and can't do, and micromanaging their lives, because they really are not micromanaging themselves.